say hi.
Hi.
We are in the kitchen, and we are in the kitchen. Why, Annie, are we in the kitchen? Yeah, whose birthday is it?
Dad.
It's Daddy's birthday today. So, my name is Stephanie. Welcome to the page. Hey, if you're brand new, post new below. We would love to connect with you and figure out your goals, like our cute aprons. Annie, do you want to show them your apron? You should. Let's go show them what it says. Look at the cute apron. So, we've had a super fun day celebrating my husband. He is not 40, he is 35. He has grown in wisdom and stature. We're having a great day.
Why are you laughing?
I'm serious.
No, you just laughed.
My husband has great wisdom, and he's a great man. So happy birthday to my husband. He's going to be coming on here in just a minute because he is going to share with you. I posted a picture earlier. I think I did a story on it. I did a story on my KetoMOM online Instagram, and then I did a little snapshot on my Facebook page. And so all I did is I said, hey, guess what? I had my entire body, like my fat, babe, what you can come and explain what we did, but we're going to talk about what it really means to have fat loss, okay? So we're going to talk about fat loss. We're going to talk about my husband's journey. We're going to talk about how this is, everybody's on their own path, right? But there are different things that everybody can do that's very similar to get to your own fat loss journey. While we are going to be chatting, I'm just going to wait. My husband's going to join us. I shared, so if you're watching from my KetoMOM Facebook page, you have the recipe of our skillet that we're having for birthday. If you're on Instagram, which I am doing both, I will get it to you in a little bit. But we made a keto skillet cookie. Everything in here is keto, low carb, except for one thing. We made an exception tonight because the girls had asked for some butterscotch chips in it. So all it is almond flour, an egg, some butter. I use Kerrygold butter for every time I cook, or really, Kerrygold butter is the way to go. So it's Kerrygold butter, some baking powder, and then for the sugar replacement, I used to use Swerve, but I will tell you, at our Costco, which apparently I feel like everybody's Costco's are really different, and we have a really phenomenal Costco here in Kentucky. So where are you tuning in from? So we're in Louisville, Kentucky, and if you live anywhere near us, you should let me know. Secondly, our Costco is pretty amazing. Oh, babe, are you right? You can say hi in just a minute. Okay, so we have monk fruit, and so that's the sugar replacement that we used is monk fruit. So it's all keto, except for the one thing. My girls had requested some butterscotch chips, so I put 1/4 of a cup. I actually cut back on the sugar replacement and put some butterscotch chips in it. But you want to know something? We went out to eat for my husband's birthday, and we went and had, has anybody ever been to a Brazilian steakhouse? Who has been to a Brazilian steakhouse? Babe, what did you think of the Brazilian steakhouse? What are you doing? Oh, you're taking, he's getting ready to talk to you because a lot of you have been asking me about this carnivore thing, which I'm not going to teach you how to do carnivore. I'm going to walk you through what fat loss looks like. But we had a pretty cool distinction today. So anyways, I'm letting you know. We talk about lifestyle approach, right? And not messing up good for perfect. We could have either had a dessert at the restaurant, which would have had like a ridiculous amount of sugar in it. Or we made our own cookie skillets. We're going to all share them. So we have our friend Anthony over. So between my kids, my husband, Steve is carnivore. He hasn't had a dessert in like 80 days, but I think he's going to have a little piece of our birthday cookie. You're not going to have a little bite?
I said it because I wanted you guys to.
We'll see. I might give him a little bit. But the girls had asked for butterscotch chips. So some people might go, that's not keto. And I'm going to say, guess what? We could have got a dessert for my husband's birthday at the restaurant and had like 1,000 grams of sugar, and now all they're going to have is like less than 1/4 of a cup of butterscotch chips. And they really wanted them, so I thought I'd be an extra nice mom. So anyways, that's what I'm making. I shared the recipe, and I will share it with you if you ask for it later. Anyways, we're diving into fat loss. So I had this little body scan thing. I stood on this thing, and it made me put in all of my weight and my height. And then you held on real tight, and you could see this something go through your body, like a wave of something, electrical wave, I don't know. And it was measuring your visceral? It was measuring visceral fat. It was measuring muscle mass. It was measuring, what else?
Well, I'm trying to find my bone.
My husband's looking for something in the cupboard. So anyways, here I'll show you. Is this mine? Or one of these mine? Okay. This is what it looks like. It gives you all of these details, okay? So it talks about how much water is in your body. I did not drink enough water, let me tell you, this morning. So I did not have a very good water intake. My husband was like, you're dehydrated. So it talked about your water, lean mass, body fat mass. It calculated like your BMI. It did everything up to like your arms. Like one of my arms is bigger. Let's see. My right arm is bigger than my left arm. My trunk has the most fat, which it should, right? Right? I mean, yeah. I'm going to tell you something super fun. Actually, I'm not even going to say it. Never mind. I was going to tell him what you said to me, my friend. So anyways, what this does is it tells you approximately how many calories your body runs off of, and it really, you want to look at this number right here, visceral fat. Visceral fat, you see it? That is that the bad, that's the bad fat, right? What's the good fat called? The brown fat. Brown adipose tissue. You guys, I'm not a doctor. It's just stuff I've learned. Do you want to come and talk to them?
What's the outcome?
Okay, so here's the outcome. Everybody has been asking why my husband's been eating carnivore, okay? Why is your husband eating carnivore? I thought he was keto and you're the keto mom and all you do is cook keto in your home. The biggest thing I want people to understand is this. So my husband did his body scan thing 30 days ago, and what has happened to his body in 30 days is what I feel is super important for people to understand what it takes for fat loss, okay? So most people go, yeah, I want fat loss. They sign up to clean out their fridge, start this crazy diet. They're gonna do this perfectly planned out diet that they went and bought online, and it's everybody's doing the same thing, when in reality, your body's different than my body, and as is my friend Anthony and my husband and all of the other moms watching, right? All of us are different. So what people need to understand is this. If you want fat loss, it comes down to certain habits, certain disciplines. My husband would say, you don't rise to the level of your, he read this in a book, so it's not like his saying, but you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems.
Good job.
So what I mean by that is this. When I coach a lot of you on eating keto or low carb or starting your journey, we talk about different things like water intake. We talk about the disciplines of not having certain foods in your home, right? We talk about starting with one meal at a time, because this isn't about getting a fat loss journey in 6 weeks. This is about lifestyle approach so that you've got this forever and ever and ever. So we talk about one meal at a time, one day at a time. Once you've got that meal under control, we move to the next one. Once you've got that under control, we move to the next one, right?
Yeah, that's good.
So keto or low carb works great for me. I feel amazing. I love avocados. I love eating salad. I love it, right? Mm-hmm. Like my body responds to that really well. I can handle dairy, although I've noticed I can't handle as much dairy because when I eat it, I get really cloggy, so my husband can tell, like, did you have a really dairy-heavy meal? I sure did. It sits right here. Some of you women have to just understand, and I say women specifically, because most women, the longer they eat low carb or they start this journey or they get to a point where they're doing really well, they hit this, like, plateau, and I say, hey, cut the dairy, and then they do, and they feel like they break through it. Dairy is like in moderation. You should not be snacking on dairy for every single meal and every single snack and having like 4 glasses of fat coffee with like 2 cups of heavy cream in it. Most people hear keto and they dive into eating all of this fat and all these heavy creams. That's not what fat loss is. So what I want people to understand is this. If you really want fat loss, you've got to have something that works for you. You've got to find the lifestyle that best works for you. You've got to be drinking water. You're going to need electrolytes. I tell everybody you need to be drinking ketones no matter how you're eating. Like, I eat low carb or keto and I drink ketones. My husband eats carnivore. He drinks ketones. I've got some of my very best friends in Arizona and they drink ketones and they're vegan or plant-based, right? Like, ketones are a fuel source. That's why I talk about them so much. That's why I feel like they're so important. Hey, if you're brand new, post new below because I want to connect with you and figure out your goals, okay? So anyways, the story has been this. Stephanie, why did you measure your body fat? Why did you go figure this out? This is a great gauge to do and figure out what's going on in my body. So my husband has been doing carnivore. Oh, it's your turn to come over and talk to us. Okay, it's my husband's birthday. Say happy birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday, everybody.
No, they're telling you happy birthday.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so we've talked about this before, but you just did a 30-day scan. Was it after 30 days?
Yeah.
So
Well, it's almost 30 days.
So you've been eating carnivore for how long?
It's been 80 days.
80 days. And
But it's not the first time I've done this.
Right, you've done it before. Tell them your story, like your carnivore story.
Well, how many of you would say you've ever been like on a roller coaster in life? Like you've had your ups and your downs. You've heard about this diet, so you've tried it. You've heard about this diet, so you tried it.
Right.
You had some success, and you hit a plateau. You said it wasn't working, and then the donut showed up on Monday, and then you said, I'll start next Tuesday, and then all of that stuff, right? So I think at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you.
Right.
And the only way that you'll know what's best for you is to be in tune with your body and actually be a little bit cognizant, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like just pay attention. Pay attention to how food impacts you. And so there's a lot of stuff that I'll just say at our last event that we went to, which was in Arizona. I remember saying to Stephanie, is that where we were at?
No, we were in
The dogs
Orlando.
are really excited. Orlando.
We were
that's
in
right.
Orlando.
We were in Orlando, and I remember telling Stephanie, I said, I am officially going to do this. I'm going to do this carnivore thing. It's like what I really feel like I need to do. If you look back, it was actually a year ago. I was looking at our pictures, and it was a year ago in 3 days. And I had a picture of myself, and I was actually like 70 days into carnivore. And if a lot of you are wondering, what does that even mean? Does it mean you just go to Wendy's and you get a bunch of cheeseburgers and that's it? No, that's not what carnivore is.
That's how you started.
It's not just eating just straight up meat.
But you've learned that over time.
So you want the fast track to what it really is?
No, I think the biggest thing, like somebody dives into keto and they go, this is how it has to be. But the more you dive in and you learn about eating healthier fats. You learn about not eating. It's just a process. So don't feel like even if you're brand new here that you've got to know every single thing. Like he didn't know everything when he started eating this way. He learned over time.
Right. Well, you can just go check out the hashtags and you can kind of get a good summary. But I mean, Dr. Ryan Lowry, Dr. Paul, I can't pronounce his last name very well, but there's a lot of great doctors that are out there that are advocates of the carnivore lifestyle. And this isn't, I'm not telling you have to do this. So I want to be very clear, like you don't have to do this. Even in anything that, even what Stephanie says, you should always consult with your doctor. You should talk to your nutritionist. You should figure out what's best for you.
Even with keto, like I have people that reach out and they go, hey, I have this and this and this. And I'm like, awesome, you've got to talk to your doctor. Like we've never given medical advice. We just say, if you really backtrack anything that we've done in our life in the very beginning, which was 7 years ago and even 4 years ago with our kids, remember when people gave us a really hard time because we wouldn't let the girls have sugar and we were taking juice out of the house and we weren't giving them certain foods and we were like, no thank you to the cereal. And we really had people that were really mean for like a year and a half to us. Like not just like, they were like brutally, like we were the worst parents in the world. Even like, this is what I want you to understand. What I would do is I would say, okay, all I'm doing is feeding my kids real food. So like if you think keto, people thought a diet, and if I would reverse engineer it, I would say what I'm doing is they're having eggs or bacon or sausage for breakfast. For lunch, I just took off the bread. For supper, I just took away the pasta and the potatoes. And I stopped buying the Oreos and the ice cream and the frozen pizzas. And when I told them that and I said, so what I hear you saying is, hold on. So when I told people that's how I was feeding my kids, and we were eating more salads and vegetables, and we were eating just better foods, and they were still eating some fruit, they would go, oh, it was like a mind shift. It was like, I'm not starving my kids or depriving my kids, or like, it's the same with this. Like, everybody's body's different. Some of you have already found that out because we chat back and forth. Some of you can't handle dairy, but you hear keto and you go, but everybody can have dairy. No, you can't. Right? Or some people like my husband who every time he would eat a salad, he would regurgitate the lettuce. I
mean, I remember I was not, needless to say, I was not at my peak performance. Have any of you ever been there? Like, you know, there's more, there's better that you can do. Yeah. And then I remember because she helped so many of you, and I thought, well,
I'm like, just eat the salad, add the avocado. Babe, I'm going to make you some salmon.
So I followed that, and guess what? All of the salads, they just weren't good for me. And it was one night, we were in Florida, and we went to our favorite restaurant, and I got the Cobb salad or something absolutely amazing. I ate it. I ended up puking all over the shower that night.
lettuce, like
Lettuce.
chunks of lettuce. I know you guys
Everywhere.
are loving this, but like what you
So-
need to understand is he's super, super in tune with his body, and he was just listening to me.
And the whole thing was it was this weird dichotomy happening in my head where I'm like, everybody says this is so good for you, like I should be eating all of these greens. But I remember back when we were in Hong Kong, and it was right when I was eating carnivore for about 70 days, and I thought, a year ago, and I thought, I should probably go back to that. I felt so good, but I'm doing something that I'm hearing is so good, but it wasn't good for me.
Right.
That was the thing. So I don't even know exactly how many days. Honestly, I could care less.
Right.
It's not about how many days I've been in carnivore, what that looks like. But for me, what do? I eat meat. I eat a lot of meat. I intermittent fast until lunchtime. At lunchtime, I either have a ribeye steak, I have some kind of ground beef. If I'm on the road, I will get hamburgers.
Yeah.
Do I get cheeseburgers? I do, unfortunately.
Sometimes.
When I eat cheese, it does not set well with me. Specifically right here, it does not set well with me.
Right.
Like, I get inflamed from eating dairy. We have a really amazing product. It hurts my tummy when I drink it. But
You just
the
can't do
girls
dairy.
all love it. Stephanie loves it.
Right.
What else do I do? Because a lot of people ask, like, what about the minerals? What about all that stuff?
Yeah.
Should I just go into this real fast?
Yeah.
And this is not
like,
me
people
pitching
need
products.
to know. No, I'm not even going to tell you where to get this. Just people need to know that if you were to ever do it, you need to make sure you understand it. So, like,
I got 4 things I'll share with that.
if, like, just know that
and
you
this is one
follow
of
the
them.
but like, eating carnivore isn't just bacon and burgers. It's, you've got to eat, they say head to tail.
So if you think about it, back in the day, when they say like back in the day,
Back in the day, I
they
gotta
would
check my
eat the
cookie.
liver, they would eat the brain, they would eat the marrow, they would do all that crazy stuff. Some people would even eat the bones, just because there's a lot of vital nutrition
They
in
put
that.
it in the water. They make
So
bone broth.
I
Like,
remember hearing my grandparents' stories when they grew up. They grew up eating liver. It was cheap. It was highly gave them a ton of nutrients, right? So I attempted to eat liver. Do you think that was
I
a
gotta
good
go yell at our
experience?
dogs.
So you want me to hold this down
Yeah.
by myself?
Yep.
Okay, so I tried liver. I mixed it in with some ground beef. Some people said that that was really, really good. Guess what? It was terrible. I still didn't like it. Like, it wrecked my meat. The liver was nasty. I tried it for about 5 days. And that's the thing, is we try, we don't use that word. Like, we try. When you use the word try, you're going to only set yourself up for failure. So
do
basically, you do it. But I talked to a doctor friend, and he said, you know what? You need to use beef organs, beef liver. So I supplement with some beef liver vitamins. There's supplements that I take. I
Yep.
take 6 of those a day. Then they said it's really important for your...
I could never do this, but I don't have to.
It's really important for your calcium. So I asked, what am I supposed to use for phosphorus, magnesium, and calcium? Guess what? Gave me a supplement. He said, this is really, really good. It is called bone meal powder. I'm covering up the brand because it doesn't matter. It's what I got. So I use just a little bit of bone meal powder. I take my liver supplements. And then when I want to treat on my ribeye, after it comes out of the oven, I don't do this often. What I do is I put a little bit of butter on it, and it melts, and then I put some collagen peptides on top of it. And it creates like this really good paste that goes on the top of your steak.
I mean, doesn't
And
this
it's
sound
so
appetizing?
good.
But you feel great.
But here's
It
the thing.
works
Think
for you.
about a Lamborghini. Think about a Ferrari. Think about a McLaren, right?
Are those cars?
Those are vehicles. Yeah, those are
I'm
supercars.
teasing. Super fancy
So
cars.
think about your minivan.
I'm saying fancy car minivan, but yes.
So in your gasoline tank,
Yeah.
would you take water, mix it with Big Deborah's and Little Deborah's, and then pour it in your gas tank?
Debbie snacks?
Yeah, Debbie snacks. Would you do that?
No.
Like, would you take syrup and put it in your engine? Would you take high fructose corn syrup and put it in your engine? No, you give a car exactly what it needs. I just look at my physical body like it's a vehicle.
Right.
How do I need to feed it? It's going to be different for each and every one of you. But for me, I feel so great when I eat steak and I drink my ketones. Like, it's not complex. Like, for me, intermittent fast, eat some meat, drink my ketones all throughout the day. I feel great.
I think the biggest thing too is, so Steve did a body scan, and the reason I wanted him to talk to you is what has happened in the 30 days. So, but the reason I want to talk about this is about fat loss. So I'll have a lot of people that message me, and you see this all the time. I'm just saying specifically women, because I talk to mainly women, probably 98% of the time. And they're like, I've been doing this for 2 weeks. I haven't seen the scale move. I'm super frustrated. I'm going to give up. Okay? Or even a month, or even 6 weeks into it. And the biggest thing I want you to understand is when you're diving into, like, not like a crazy diet to where like you're starving yourself or like eat every 6 meals a day, forcing yourself to try to get your metabolism to work. Like we all were taught to do that.
It does work for some people though.
You are correct. But what I want people to understand is the fat loss doesn't. People have this misconception of like it's the instant gratification, right? It's our phones, it's our computers, we get whatever we want whenever we want it. It's Amazon, it's right.
For sure. I mean, I got a perfect example. I would love to eat like Dwayne Johnson, right? I even attempted to eat like him. Cheat days, right? The epic cheat meals.
The epic cheat day. So somebody had asked if you had birthday cake.
I have it.
Like, why don't you have a cheat day?
Well, actually, I did have a birthday cake. The team
it was made out of steak.
Made me a steak cupcake. It was great.
But that's a really good point. So before we get to the fat loss part real quick, I want you to talk about a cheat day because not everybody can handle them, and why not?
So people have been asking me, are you going to eat cake? Am I going to eat this cookie? So one thing that I love about this birthday is every year I look at how can I become a little bit more generous just in my overall life. And I use my birthday as that prime meeting where I do love to get gifts, don't get me wrong, but at the same time I love to give. And so last year I was able to do some fun stuff. This year has been like the best birthday because I've been able to do a lot of fun stuff for a lot of people that I care about. And at the same time, it's a day where people like anticipate celebration. Like every day you should be celebrating in life.
Right.
But for today, it being my birthday, everyone like usually typically relates birthday with cake or ice cream or some kind of sugar. That's awesome. I'm trying to flip the script just a little bit. But at the same time, I still want my kids to have fun.
Right.
I still want Stephanie to have fun. So perfect example. We were going to go to a restaurant with some of our friends. They actually didn't want to host us. Like it was so weird. They didn't want to put us together. They wanted to separate us.
They wouldn't let 15 of us go
and
to
so
this
I
restaurant.
said, just because of how they treated Stephanie, I said, I don't even want to support them. I'm not going to say what it is. It doesn't matter. But we ended up going to a Brazilian steakhouse. And it was unbelievable. They were so great. The food was amazing. And it was such a great time. And so I got, guess what? On someone's birthday, what do you typically get? You get a free dessert, right? So I didn't get it. And it wasn't the end of the world for me. Like
None of the kids cared even.
Nobody cared. Like we had a great time. We were all full. We had fun.
We ate a lot of meat.
And
salad.
And then during the day, what did the girls have? Oh, we went to Dora the Explorer. Great movie. Go
Our
watch
kids,
it. It was so much fun.
Our kids had your popcorn and a treat.
But guess what? I got a free popcorn because it was my birthday. And so it was joyful for me to take the treat and to give it away.
Right.
So I'll encourage you, in life, there are going to be moments where people want to celebrate. People are going to give you gifts. If it works with your macros, if it works for your goals, if it works for your systems, do it. But guess what? For me, I just didn't want it. So I got to receive a gift that the company Cinemark gave me at Tinseltown. I love that place. And then I got to give it away. How fun is that? So here's what was fun. Dinner. Stephanie was very adamant. There was something that she really wanted. A part of any husband knows this. Happy wife, happy life, right?
It's supposed to be happy family, happy home, or happy
everybody.
Something,
and
everybody.
The other thing, what's hers is hers and what's mine is hers. Like I know that. So for dinner tonight, she wanted something very specific for food. And I wasn't really hungry because I'm still full from eating lunch.
We ate at 11:30. I needed to eat another meal.
And so we went to her place and she got her food and I got to enjoy the time with my family. And so I'm even thinking through in my mind to just listen to your body and eat when you're hungry.
And he didn't eat because he wasn't hungry.
I wasn't trying to be a
The point
I wasn't
is,
mad. I just was having fun.
You need to know, like, just because you're out at a party or you're at somebody's house, or you're going out to eat, like, there doesn't need to be social eating, and it might be awkward at first, but you've got to understand that part of, like, am I hungry? Am I not? That's the power of the reboot. That's the power of helping people actually backtrack and go for 60 hours not eating and actually go, this is what it feels like to be hungry.
Right.
And you told me too that you didn't want to do a cheat day for a while because you know that if you take the bite of that ice cream or those, like, you just don't want to go to that downward spiral, because so often people will go.
I've been there too many times.
People will go, I just went on vacation, I'm going to get back on track when I get home, or I just went to the birthday party. And if you don't have something to get you back on track, guess what? You're going to spiral out of control and then come back here next year. So, like,
I'm the perfect example.
Our friend Anthony is sitting over here, right on the other side of the camera. He's not listening because he's got his earbuds in. But he was sitting at the table and he was like, I've got cravings, right? I swear you said you had a craving for sugar. Maybe you guys were joking. And he was like, no, I just need to eat something. So he looked in the fridge and grabbed our breakfast sausage. And I came down and he was like, I ate something. I just put mustard on some sausage and I was fine. And I was like,
That's weird.
why?
But
He goes,
normal
because it
is
has
okay.
such a weird taste. He goes, it took away all the cravings. I tell people if you have a craving and you don't want to give into something, carry a toothbrush around with you. Go floss your teeth. Go brush your teeth. Go use mouthwash. Have some gum. Oftentimes people will go, is gum keto? And I go, well, if you don't put the gum in your mouth, you're going to grab the donut. So which one would you rather have? Right?
Well, that's so good for perfect.
Right. And so it's just a matter of knowing your body. Maybe you can handle a cheat day or a cheat meal every week. Maybe you can't, but you're not the same as everybody else.
So unfortunately, I'm not at rock level yet where I can eat the epic stack of pancakes or the big chocolate chip cookies.
You could
but
if you wanted to.
maybe
You're
someday.
choosing not to.
I mean, I got to keep up appearances for my stunt double. Because if I don't keep up with my stunt double, then I may be out
It's
of a
called
job.
a stump double?
He's my stunt double.
Is it called a double?
Well,
I thought it
think
was
so.
called something else.
What did you think it
I thought it was called a stunt devil, although I don't like that
Devil?
word. That's what I always thought it was called.
Double, like, or a
It's
stunt
your double.
man. It's your.
You guys,
It's like a doppelganger.
hey, who's the actor on The Greatest Showman? Zac Efron.
I mean, come on.
Steve thinks that Zac Efron's his stunt. No, I mean Zac Efron is my husband's stunt double. Double. Did you know that?
You've always thought it was double.
I always did.
That's.
Okay. Anyway, so the point of all of this is,
I still have work to do.
in the last 30 days, he redid his in-body scan, and it showed, I think, 6 more pounds of fat loss. Okay. Some people might go 30 days, 6 pounds of fat loss. Like, that's not a lot. I'll have some people go, I've only lost 12 pounds and it's been like 6 weeks. And I'll be like, that's great. And people are measuring the wrong way. Like, everybody focuses so much on this scale and it's ridiculous. Like, the scale measures so many different things. The point is, you need to make sure you're focusing on how you're feeling. Like, are you eating when you're not hungry? Are you eating because you're bored? Are you eating foods that fuel your body, right? Are you measuring how your clothes are fitting? Are you measuring inches lost? Are you doing more reps in the gym? Like, right?
For sure. 100%.
What time is it?
It is some.
I have a meeting in 8 minutes. Okay, so anyways, we just wanted to pop on here because I wanted to give you a little bit of an understanding. Fat loss will show up. Just think about eating better foods and it will happen. How you got to today didn't happen overnight, and I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm just simply saying to get whatever off that you want to, it's going to take some time. It could take weeks up to months. It could take an entire year, and are you willing to give it a year to see your body completely change over time? And so that's what he's been doing is the scale would go up a couple pounds, it would come down a couple pounds, and then it would come down again, and it would be like 30 days in, and then it would go up, down, right? It just depends.
Well, yeah. So you just have to be consistent when you measure. That's the first thing that's important. And honestly, there's been too many years where I've always promised to Stephanie, I said, this will be the year that I'm in the best shape of my life.
Every birthday he has said that.
And
every birthday.
Probably for the 14 years that we've been married. And what's kind of funny is I've maybe only lived up to it once in the past. And so this was something different. I figured I'm hitting 35. I want to be the best 35 that I can possibly be. And so hopefully that this can be an encouragement to you. If you've ever been on the roller coaster of life, or you've done really well and maybe you've gotten off track, use my story, use our story as something that can inspire you to just get 1% better every day. So if you want change, if you want better in your life, don't go crush the gym so hard tomorrow that you're so sore that you can't get back. Don't go cold turkey and not eat any food. Look at ways that you can not rise to the level of your goals, but you'll fall to the level of your system. So look at your system, look at your pattern, and ask yourself, what can I do to make my system 1% better?
Yeah.
We could talk about our dog story, but I know you got to get going. There's so many things that we could talk about, but I would just encourage you to just look at your day and just ask yourself, where can I get 1% better?
1% better. So a couple things. Post new below. I want to make sure that we chat. You can always ask questions, and then I always tell people this is something that Steve and I do have in common is I drink ketones. We drink ketones every day. We have for 4 years, every single day. We wake up in the morning, we shake one up, we take our dogs for a walk, we work out, we dominate our day. So like, you don't have to be eating keto to drink this. Like, you drink it every day, sometimes twice a day, and it puts ketones in your system. So like a fuel source. So like he was giving you the example of the car. right? What are you fueling your body with? Is it a pot of coffee or 2 or 3? Is it energy drinks? What is it? Is those crazy 5-hour shots that like jack your head up? Like, what is it? And know that there is a clean fuel source. And so it's a powder. You shake it up, you put it in water, you drink it in under an hour, you're in ketosis. And then you have better energy and focus and fat loss, appetite control, mood, sleep, so many benefits. So if you want to know more about that, post 5 or 10 in the comments. Just post 5 or 10. You and I will chat. Post new. I would love to know your goals. Anything else?
I think you're amazing.
You guys can all wish him a happy birthday. We're gonna make. Well, I'll post the cookie recipe on Instagram for the Instagrammers. Anybody watching on Facebook, the cookie recipe is in the header of the video, and it's super, super easy. So the kids will enjoy it. I'm not sure if he'll eat it, but maybe he'll take a bite. We have to sing happy birthday at least so we can blow out a candle.
I just feel so good.
So we want you to feel great. Continue to tuning into the pages. Ask questions. We share recipes all the time, tips and tricks. And if you follow us on Instagram, if you're not on there, you'll see our whole crazy life. So you'll get to see the kids and the dogs and the friends and our travel, which we are traveling tomorrow. So be watching that. It's super fun. And that's it. So we appreciate you all.
Should I eat it? Comment down below. Should I eat it? Should I have a bite? A scoopful,
he'll have a bite.
A piece, or the whole thing?
He'll have a bite.
Or none at all. What should I do?
Message me if you have any questions. Again, post 10 below. We'll chat about my mom fuel, and we'll talk to you guys soon. So have a great night.